I have been a part of a large gaming society for decades, since the early 90s. Because of this, I get to witness a lot of other people's games in person, where I'm not playing in the game, I'm not running the game, I'm just listening in. But let's be a little crazy. Let's jump all over the place right now. Have you ever seen somebody get rejected by people at a job they are working at? Not right away, but they've been there for several months or something like that. And it's gone from pleasant to the silent treatment to people won't talk to that person, to the point where it could seem like they're asking the boss to fire that person, or they want that person to be fired. And it seems to have come out of nowhere. But, this was not happening at first. It seems sudden. Like out of nowhere, all these people that this person is working with have turned on them. Well, I have seen tabletop role-playing games where, out of nowhere, a player gets rejected from the game. Like they had the game master asking them to leave. And the other players are not bitter with the game master. They're not leaving the game. It might even be that they are supporting this action by the game master. But I mean, everything seemed okay right up until that point. Let me warn people that are in this hobby. I'm going to warn you about something that's going to happen to you, and you'll have no control over it if you don't control yourself. If you show up and you rub people the wrong way that you game with, it doesn't matter how you do it. Well, you better stop doing that, because unlike other things in life where you randomly go hang out with people, these are going to be scheduled get-togethers you have, maybe once a week, something like that. And, at first, maybe people could put up with some negative behavior or something that rubs them the wrong way. But you don't want them to keep putting up with that, trust me. Outgoing bad behavior will burn you out really quick out of a group. The conflict will start, people will start hinting at you that what you're doing bothers them, and if people are verbally confronting you in that way, that's not good. You better change instantly. If not, you're going to be the player who gets kicked out really, really soon out of that campaign. But what about the other guy who's waiting 2 or 3 months and then out of nowhere, he's getting booted out? Well, okay, what's the problem there? Well, that rub the wrong way thing that they put up with at first, well, and it's not so bad. You're not so in their face, but there's this little bit of behavior that is rubbing people the wrong way, and you're continuously bringing it to the session. Here's what's going to happen. Over time, when people put up with shit, they become bitter. And if they have to keep putting up with it, it goes from bitter to hating whatever is causing the issue. And in most cases, like this case, they'll hate the person, like they did at that job. They hate the person because at first they're being reasonable, putting up with the rub the wrong way, activity that's happening from this person, the action coming from this person. But it's putting up with it has made them bitter over time. And then at one point, the bitterness becomes hate. And at that stage, everybody is willing to throw you off a bridge. Goodbye. There is only a few ways to avoid this, and none of these ways appeal to me. Well, you get together and drink beer and pretzels and get drunk all the time and don't take the game too serious. Well, you might be able to stick around for a long time in that one, but it will be under the circumstance that you don't give a shit and you're drunk and all that, right? I don't really see another way where people would put up with it long term. Like, kids will confront each other openly, like, just not care, right? But that's probably the right thing to do, to be honest. Kids got it right. But for adults, in most cases, these actions in a not short term, but in a short term, will always break up a game or campaign. Or if it doesn't break the game or campaign overall, at least will lead to that person being removed from the game. That's it. People will be less bitter with the outgoing asshole because they know who it is right away and they can cut them off. But they become even more bitter with the person. They become even more hateful with the person that makes them, almost like tortures them with this behavior. Like, because it's coming in small doses. And it's a continual continuous nonstop at them until they hate you, right? They're going to have an easier time dealing with the outgoing asshole than dealing with the person who is somewhat an asshole, right? The problem is, in the tabletop role-playing game hobby, over 50% of the players are the issue players that rub people the wrong way. I mean, that might have something to do with why there's a lack of gaming in a hobby with millions of people, but very few games in comparison to the amount of people in the hobby. I don't care what you think about me. Trust me, if I showed up with the attitude you hear in some of my videos every week to my players, in person, they'd leave my game. So I don't behave that way, clearly. Anyway, for now, take care.